Hello and welcome to the next series in the Word Tutorial videos. I know it's been a couple of months since I have done a video, but truthfully I've been busy with a brand new baby and they take lots of care and attention. So hopefully we're getting back on track here. We're going to continue in our advanced searching, and if you remember the last time, I showed you how to do a morphological search using a right click. And just to briefly demonstrate that, we're going to take this word here, we're going to right click it, and this would be your morphological search here, which stands for M is the morph, and then verb, aorist, active, indicative, third person singular. And basically what that will do is that will find every occurrence of this word here, agape, in this particular verbal tense. Now, that can be handy, but suppose that you want to find a different form of the word agape. The words search query allows you to do that. Now, just a brief quick word about the type of search that I'm getting ready to do. I'm getting ready to do a little bit more advanced morphological search. Now, in order to do an advanced morphological search, I told you before that you had to have a tagged Greek or English text. I prefer a Greek text. If you're not familiar with a Greek text, then you can use an English text. The only English text that I know of that's tagged, that's free in the Word, is the King James Version. So if you have that, you can use that. Or you could use a Textus Receptus Interlinear, which does have the English attached to it. You can hit the I key and toggle the Strong's words and the English words on and off. So you can do it that way, or you can use a straight Greek text. So however you prefer to do it. But another thing that I need to point out are these little codes here that popped up. And if you notice on these codes, if you notice something, you notice that's the code right there. The VAAI3S, verb, aorist, active, indicative, third person singular. In order to do the kind of search I'm about to do, you're going to need to know and be familiar with these codes. And the best way to do that is to download from theword.net what is called Robinson's Morphological Analysis Codes. And it's right here. It's abbreviated as RMAC. It's very simple to use. All you got to do is, let's type something in. Suppose we want to find a verb. All the verbs begin with V, obviously. So we would hit V, and then just familiarize yourself. Go down the list and just pick one. Okay. Verb, second aorist, active, indicative, second person plural. Familiarize yourself with what it is, the tense, voice, mood, person, and number. And that may sound a little bit confusing, but as you go through and familiarize yourself with these things, you'll find that they start coming a little bit more easier. Suppose you want to do a noun. Okay, well, nouns obviously would probably start with the letter N. And there you go. Well, let's just pick one. And there, that tells us that it's a noun in the accusative case, plural, and the gender is neuter, which is neither masculine nor feminine. But in our language, English language, the best you could come up with is it. But you're really going to need to familiarize yourself with these types of codes before you can do any kind of morphological search, at least in an advanced way. But don't let that discourage you. There's a lot of great online resources that can help you familiarize yourself. Different Greek grammars. You can just get a brief rundown of what the verbs do and how they play a part in the Greek language. It's not very hard at all. So let's go ahead, now that we've got those two things out of the way, let's go ahead and do a search. I want to search here for the word agape. but I don't want the second aorist active indicative. What I want is I want to find every place in the Textus Receptus Interlinear, which is the Bible that I'm searching, every single place that the word agape appears as an imperative command. In other words, love, agape, is commanded. So what I want to do first is I want to come down here to the lexical form. And take note of that. You don't want to copy this word up here because this word is what's the word in the text. Okay, what you want is you want to copy the lexical form. So you just want to come down here, highlight it, copy. Now we're going to go over to a search bar, and I'm going to maximize it so I can show you a couple of things. Now, one of the things you're going to notice about the search is this little menu down here. You have a fast search, a detailed search, and an option search. Now, before you begin to do any kind of advanced searching, you want to come over here to the detailed window. And you want to take note of these little words up here under these bars. Now, what these words are is they tell you what type of a search or what options are available to you. And as you hover your mouse over them, a pop-up will come up telling you what they do. So, for example, use the AND operator if you want both expressions words on the right and the left to match. Now we're concerned with a morphology search, so that would be the letter M. And if you hover your mouse over that, a whole lot of information pops up. So what I would do first is read all this information and practice doing the kind of search that you want to do. Use these examples. This is exactly what I did to get used to typing the queries in, because the queries are very specific, and if you type the wrong thing in, you'll get a wrong result. So you want to do that and familiarize yourself with that first. Okay, now let's move on to the search. So we know we want to search for a morph. So I'm going to come up here, I'm going to type the letter M. Now the M has got to be followed by a /. And if you look down here too as I type, you'll see it coming in the window. Now we're telling the query to search for a verb form, so we're going to use the @ symbol and then the letter V. And here's where your code is going to come in, because remember, you're searching for a verb, so your first letter is going to be a V. If you were searching for a noun, it would be an A would be adjective, P would more than likely be pronoun. But as you familiarize yourself with the codes, you'll get more used to it. So after the verb, we don't care about the voice and the tense, but or the voice and the mood, but we do care about the tense. We want it in an imperative command. So I happen to know that the code for an imperative is a letter M. However, I'm still missing something because it's not a complete search. Since I don't care about whether it's active or whether it's present or whatever, I still have to fill in those two blanks. So we use question marks for that. So now I'm telling it to search for a verb, any tense, any mood, or any tense, any voice, and the mood would be imperative. Then I do a hyphen, and again, I don't care whether it's first, second, or third person, and I don't care whether it's singular or plural. So I have to fill in with 2 more question marks there. Now the last thing I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm searching the right Bible or Bibles. You can do that by going to this little arrow here, clicking on it, and go to this Bible, and it pops up, and as you can see, the TRI is already checked, so we're good there. So the last thing to do is to come over and hit the go button, and it should populate. Now we got a whole lot of hits. So what did I do wrong? Well, what I did wrong, and what's often a beginning mistake, is I didn't type the word that I wanted to search. So it brought back every single imperative command in the New Testament. So remember, we already selected and copied our word, so now I'm going to hit Control V. And as you can see, now we're searching for the morphology of agapao in the verb imperative form. So now we're going to try that again. So let's try that again. And now it's going to populate. Looks like, yeah, very much, a lot better. Much smaller results. 9 verses. So we see that doing that kind of search yielded back 9 results of every time the word agape in the Texas Receptus interlinear is used as an imperative. So there you have it. And if you want to use more Bibles, if you want to go, okay, well, suppose I want to search more than one Bible. You would just come down here, select Bibles to search, and let's say the Byzantine, the Greek interlinear, or just that. Then you would just check however many Bibles you want to search and hit go again, and it would search for each individual Bible. And if you check all of them, it's probably going to take a good little while for it to come back. And when it's done, it will be divided up. Here you see Byzantine, Greek. You can collapse them and look at them one at a time. So there you have it. That's all there is to it. And I hope you got a lot of information out of it. And I hope you're not discouraged. But just familiarize yourself with the codes, and I think you'll do great. And